All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for spending today with me. Today, we are going to be doing a custom scenario on that end. So, the intent is to find out who is actually the king of the seas. So, on one hand, you have our boy Arthur Curry, also known by everybody with sense as Aquaman, but still, nonetheless. And he'll be going up against Prince Namor. Well, actually, King Namor. Because he's got an ego behind him. He'll actually get all, if we don't call him king. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and explore his setup. Primarily his scheme, Brandy Deep. Count from the bottom of the encounter deck. And place the Deep Reminder card above the 15th card without looking. If it has no in-game effects, it is only to indicate when Namor is in Deep. If the encounter deck is ever reshuffled, replace the Deep Reminder card above the 15th card. Okay, so basically we need to reset this up, so give me a moment, I will do that part. 4, 8, 12. Yeah, I did say for the bottom. Okay, so it is up on that end. You know what, just to make sure, I will do that still. But let's reshuffle the deck a few more times, just to make sure. Alright, now the deck is in there. Alright, so that's all we've done for Scheme 1A. Flip over to 1B. Start with 2 threat. And while there are 15 fewer remaining cards in the counter deck, Namor is deep, and deep abilities on his cards must be resolved. When scheme's completed, we lose. And just so we know, when Namor is in the deep, he's stronger. Alright, and forced to interrupt. When a minion activates, discard the top card of the encounter deck unless Namor is deep. Okay. And meanwhile, we'll go back down here to Aquaman's setup. Alright, so his particular setup is discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard a sea monster card, add it to your hand. And Thirst Trap, spend a resource, choose an aquatic card in your discard pile and add it to your hand. Alright, also very important, he has his own special rules card, so, and this is the new keyword for the deck, exertion. So basically, when this card would ready, if there are any exertion counters on it, it does not ready. Instead, we just remove 1 exertion counter from it, okay? Alright, he's ready to go. Let's shuffle up. And draw our so he's 6 hand size, we'll draw 6. And his cards are Fusillade, Exhausted Weapon we control, deal 5 damage. Call of the Deep, remove an exertion counter from a sea monster support. If you overpaid for this event, choose one. Ready an aquatic card or remove an exertion counter from a sea monster, okay? And Armed to the Teeth. Defend Armed to the Teeth. When Aquaman defends against an attack, place 1 exertion on a sea monster support. Deal damage equal to that sea monster's printed resource cost to the attacker. If it defeats the attacker, ready Aquaman, okay? Call of the Deep. Remove a exertion counter from a sea monster. If you overpaid, either ready an aquatic card or remove another exhaustion counter. Okay. The Pulse Grenade, I'm not going to read that because you already know. And finally, Father Sea's Blessing. If used to pay for an aquatic card, remove an exertion counter from a sea monster. I don't have a weapon yet, so I'll discard that. And we'll get rid of one Call of Deep. And we'll get a Pulse Grenade. Get rid of the Pulse Grenade. Alright, and we draw 3 more. Alright, and support, Megalodon. He can follow the exertion, put an exertion counter on it, and exhaust it. Deal damage equal to the Megalodon's printed cost. Increase the damage dealt by 1 if this action targets a damaged minion. Queen Mare action, choose a sea monster support. Treat its printed resource cost as 2 higher till the end of the round. Or remove an action from a sea monster support. And martial prowess. Okay, this icon is weirding me out. I think it's consequential damage, but luckily for us, they do have a rule sheet over here. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what they say. Alright, I don't see any special rules about that, so we are just going to go ahead and play the game. Oh, and Aquaman's a setup ability. Discard cards to the top of my deck until we get to a sea monster card added to hand. Okay. Alright, so that is a sea monster card. And I don't think I have any attack finish yet, so I'm going to discard martial prowess and arms to the teeth. Okay, I'll do that to play the Megalodon card. Exertion, put an exertion counter on Megalon and exhaust it. Deal damage to the printed enemy. Okay, Thirst Trap ability. Spend a resource, choose an aquatic card in my discard pile and add it to my hand. Nuts. Alright. So that double resource is not an aquatic card. Grenade is not. Downtime is not. Energy is not. Turn the tide is not, but Fusillade is not. Not. Man, I wish I had my weapon. Alright, so none of those cards are worth me putting in exhaustion counter on it. Oh, these should have been discarded. Instead, I think I will flip up to oh, it should have done Aquaman's ability. So he's 1 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense. Tidal Force. After a card I control defeats an enemy or removes last threat from a scheme, remove the exertion from the sea monster counter and control. Okay. Just remember, with the whole exhaustion thing, if they have those counters on it, they don't get to ready. So I will go ahead and exhaust Megalodon and put 1 counter on him now. Let's shrink that down a little bit. 2 deal 2 damage to an enemy. Right now we'll spend 2. Actually, I'll spend 1, 2, 3 to play Queen Mara down. And notice with Father Sea's Blessing, if I use it to pay for an aquatic card, which Mara is, remove the exertion counter from a sea monster support. So I will do that. Discard those 2. Alright, so Mara will exhaust. And she'll remove 2 threat from that. And finally, Aquaman will attack Namor for 2 as well. Alright, so everybody's going to straighten. We draw Aquaman's hand size, which is 5. Sorry, that was for a game I'm going to do later on, so don't worry about He-Man for right now. Y'all see him soon. Okay, now we go for the enemies. First step gets a threat for that. Scheme for the Briny Deep. Nothing has happened yet. Namor will attack for 2. Aquaman will go ahead and defend that, so 2 plus 2. Alright, no. It takes no damage. And the Metropolis. After the forced villain deals any amount of undefended damage. He did not in this case, so we're fine. And we now deal our bad card, which is Atlantean Skin. If he is in the deep, he would get a tough status card. He is not. But when revealed normally, we heal 3 damage from him, and he would have gotten Surge, so nuts. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and put resource, 4 resource to play the Kraken. Who does have exertion, so Kraken put 3 exertion, Put 3 exertion counters on Kraken and exhausted. Deal damage equal to its credit cost to an enemy. Gets overkill and piercing. Okay. Yep, 3 exhaustion counters, deal damage. But I will also use Mara's ability to use a sea monster support. Treat its resource credit cost as too high until the end of the round. So, and I'm really thinking that what they mean by this on here, the character, I think it means take a consequential damage. I will have to check inside the custom content Discord to see if that's the case. But for right now, we're just going to treat it like it is. So 4 plus Mira's 2, so he's dealing 6. And we're going to leave Megalodon alone. How many cards are left in here? Actually, you know what? I'll do that. And I will spend 1 resource to play Clobber. Sorry, not Clobber, to play Atlantis. This is his alter ego support. After you change form, heal 1 damage from Arthur Curry, and remove an exertion counter from each sea monster support. Okay, that could be something to do later, but for right now, we won't worry about it. Alright, we will ready. The Kraken will not ready because of the exertion ability, so we just remove 1 counter from it. Megalodon has no counters on it, so we don't have to worry about that. And I will draw 5 cards. Alright, our new toys are Hall of Heroes, Rick Flag Jr. Also forgot to mention, for a lot of the DC cards, they will reskin existing cards as them, and that's why I'll put the title underneath it. That's why it says Mockingbird under there. We have Clobber. We have Call the Deep. Remove an exertion counter from a sea monster. If you overpaid, choose 1. Ready an aquatic card or remove an exertion counter from a sea monster. And we have Combat Training. Shout out to Cassandra Cain. She's awesome. Okay, we did that. To another threat. Namor is going to attack us. Actually, I'm not going to defend that attack, so to what I get. Endangered Citizen. Companion, Fragile Surge. Endangered Citizen. When revealed, put Endangered Citizen into play under your control. An enemy attacks you, attacks his ally instead. So Namor is just going to hit me for 2. And because of Metropolis' ability, I discard the top card of the encounter deck. Oh, fudge. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I completely forgot to shuffle his obligation into the deck, so I'm going to do that right now. Fudge, I screwed that up. Okay, this is easy fix. Search an encounter card. Find the deep, because the deep needs to be 15 or less. Okay. That's been shuffled into the deck. It's not a thing, so now we'll do our encounter card for this round, and we get, when revealed, place 2 threat on this main scheme. We would do it on each scheme if Namor was in the deep. He is not. But now it's the start of hero phase. On that end, okay. I'm going to use Rick Flag Jr. for 1 and call the deep for 2 to play Clobber. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. If this is the first card I've played, return it to my hand, so. Hall of Heroes, I've not seen any minions yet, so I will pay Hall of Heroes for 1, Clobber for 2, to give Arthur some combat training. He now has +1 attack. Hitting him for 3. No, we will not hit him for 3 yet. Mara will remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Mara will remove 2 threat from the main scheme. Now she's taken her 3rd, now she gets discarded. Megalodon will use his ability to do 2 damage to Namor. Brings him to 12, so he goes to stage 2. When revealed, summon the Neptune's Trident attachment and reveal it. Okay, let's find this attachment. Neptune's Trident. Attach to Namor, he gets Retaliate 1. Retaliate 2 if he's in the deep. And if Namor ever attacks for 3 or more boost cards, that attack, discard Neptune's Trident, that becomes ranged. And it is forced, so we would have to do that. Okay. And his new health is 16. Okay. But he did not get tough. Wonderful. Because Aquaman will hit him for 3. And Namor will retaliate on Aquaman. Now he's going to flip to alter ego form, and we will use Atlantis' ability as an alter ego response. It does not exhaust, but we heal a damage and remove a deep sea and exhaustion counter. Alright. Now we straighten everybody except the Kraken, but he loses his final counter. So next turn he'll come back and can hit again, okay? And we'll draw 6. And we got mean swing, grenade, mean swing, side holster, clobber, and endurance. Okay, not awful. All right, so we'll put a threat on here. Namor now schemes for 2 plus 3, okay. And our encounter card is, actually, hold on. So that does not come into play. That does not come into play. That does not come into play. So yeah, we do just go to the encounter card. Wrath of the Sea. All right, let's examine this a little closely. Discarding 1 at a time, discard a total of 2 cards from the top of the encounter deck in my hand, divided as my choose. Then my hero takes indirect damage, equal to the number of boost icons. So, discard the top card of the encounter deck. Top card of the encounter deck is Citizen Danger, so no boost icon. So I'll go ahead and discard Citizens in Danger. All right, now let's see how we're going to do this. Yes, 6 red, exhausted 12. Actually, let me go back and see what his cards are in there, because I think I got rid of all my thwarting cards on there. All right, Turn the Tide is clearly my thwart event, which I think I may have discarded all my copies of. So just to be on the safe side, I need to thwart something. Alright, so I think I will use his Thirst Trap ability now to spend a resource. I'll spend the Clobber, choose an aquatic card in my discard pile and add it to my hand. I will bring back Mera. How much thwart does Arthur have? He only has 1. Yeah, so Mera's got to come out and do something. Okay. So I will play Endurance and Clobber and Mean Swing to play Mera. Mera will exhaust for 2 to remove 2 threats. Oh crap, wrong card. I meant to discard the grenade, not the endurance. I will then exhaust and get rid of the mean swing to play endurance. And just plus 3 hit points. You bring the 15 plus 3, okay. Alright, now I will flip Arthur Curry to hero form. And he will and Mara should have taken the damage for doing the thwart. How much damage does he have? 13, okay. I can save him for right now. Alright, so Arthur will now hit Namor for 3. And 3 because he has combat training. And we will ready everybody and draw 5. So we deck out. To come on over here and counter card. Alright, let's see what we have now. We have a hand cannon. We have Mosasaurus. Put 2 exertion counters on him and deal his damage equal to its printed cost if I defeat an enemy or remove an exertion counter. Armed to the teeth, when Aquaman defense against an attack, place 1 exertion counter on DC monster support, deal damage equal to the monster's printed cost to the attacker. If it defeats the attacker, ready Aquaman. We have a plasma pistol, and we have power of aggression. Alright, so goes up 1. Namor attacks for 2, but force interrupt on a endangered citizen means he attacks them first. Aquaman will defend against that, because I've got enough offense coming. To defend, so Namor hits 4. 2 plus nothing. Aquaman defense for 2, so no damage. And then force to interrupt. If this ally is still in play, discard it and draw 1 card. And the new card I got is, oh, praise be, the Trident of Neptune. Okay, great. He finally has his weapon. And his 2 encounter cards got to deal with. Encounter card number 1, in harm's way. The villain attacks you. If the attack is undefended and would deal any amount of damage, discard that many cards from the encounter deck instead. Oh, brother. If he attacks me, if I lose cards from the top of the encounter deck, it's going to bring me closer to defeat. So, alright, Queenie, you were great, but you're going to have to defend that attack. So, he hits me for 2 plus 4. So it's me. So he actually hits Mara for 4. Okay. The Queen Mara is gone. And that was the first encounter card. The second one is War Sharks Patrol. His attacks gain piercing, and there are not 15 or fewer cards in the deck, so he doesn't get quick strike. Good. Alright, so I will use don't forget this, I will use Power of Aggression to pay for 2 resources and bring the hand cannon in. Okay, so restricted means I can only have 2 restricted cards in play. And the trident is way more important than the plasma pistol. I will discard the plasma pistol and Mosasaurus to play the Neptune of the Trident down. Trident of Neptune. Neptune's Trident. Okay, that's funny to me. Anyway. Alright, we'll exhaust the Megalodon and put 1 exertion counter on him to deal 2 damage. We'll exhaust the Kraken and put 3 damage counters on it. Exhaustion counters, excuse me. And deal printed cost to an enemy. Actually, no. Hold on. We'll use the Megalodon to put 3 damage on the Patrol Shark. And we use Kraken to put 4 damage on Namor. Yeah, that was smarter. Alright, and alright, so next turn Aquaman, if he lives, Aquaman attack for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Alright, so we may not need a defense on there. So Namor will hit for 2. The Sharks will hit for 2. 12, 10, 9 damage. Namor will have to attack me twice in order for me not to win this game. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. I'll discard that. We will ready everybody except you and you. And draw 5 cards. And let's see what we got. We have a pulse grenade. We have an energy. We have arm to the teeth. We have clobber. And we have fusillade. Okay, yeah. If I survive this, we win. Okay. So 1 threat. And more attacks for 2. And take that to the face. 3, okay. The shark will attack me for 2. And the bad card is in harm's way. Okay, he attacks me again. Alright, he attacks if it's undefended. Discard that many cards in the deck. Okay, I'll do that. So Namor's going to attack again. Aquaman will not defend, but he is now in the deep. So that's just a marker, so we still need to... Alright, so Imperious Rex, that's a side scheme. We will reveal that in a minute. But he hits me for 2, 3 because he's deep now. Now Imperious Rex is at the factor. And it now has hinder. because Namor is in the deep. So whenever you're doing the game, that card is not a card that's just a marker to let you know it's like, hey, Namor's now in deep water. So you should worry about that. It still doesn't matter though, because we have one unless I do something really dumb, which I shouldn't. Alright, so we discard 1 and 2 to play Clobber on the shark. Yes, play Clobber on the shark. So he's gone. And this was the first card I played this turn, so it comes back to hand. Spend an energy resource to play Fusillade, exhaust a weapon, upgrade I control, and deal 5 damage to an enemy. Okay. I'll exhaust the trident. And Aquaman's going to attack for 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll use the counter from hand cannon to bring it to 6. And Namor is dead. So now we have determined that it is clearly Arthur Curry, aka Aquaman, who is the one true king of the seas, and Namor is a pretender. Although I do need to look and see if Namor is older than Aquaman. He might be. But it doesn't really matter, because they fought it out, and someone lost. So, we will chalk that to the DC for this one. That was a very fun encounter set. I enjoyed not only playing the Aquaman deck, but also the encounter in general. So that was a fun fight. Either way, thank you all very much for taking time to watch a game with me today, and I will catch you guys later. Take care.